Hi, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you are at 808 with Clay, where we go live on our Instagram, claysouzaofficial, twice a week, on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:08 p.m. to talk about the 3 pillars of an amazing and desirable photography, which those pillars are lighting, composition, and posing. Those are the 3 pillars to create an amazing and desirable photography. You want to be desirable by your clients, right? So Instagram, claysouzaofficial, and also on our YouTube channel. Next week, we're going to start doing our lives on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has the same handle, claysouzaofficial. If you're not following yet, hit the subscribe button and also that bell button so you get notified every time I upload new content, which is pretty much every day. Thank you for being here, and let's go. Tonight we're going to talk about bouncing flash, right? So the goal of this live is to bring real life techniques. I'm a active photographer, and we photograph weddings most of the time, but also do high school seniors and families. Okay, the only thing that we don't photograph are newborn, but yeah, follow us on our Instagram and on our YouTube channel. I would appreciate it. All right, so bouncing flash. Let me get this guy out of here. Okay, bouncing flash. So we're going to use a speed light. All right, speed light here just to bounce flash. So why, first of all, why do we bounce flash? I'm going to show you different scenarios here why we bounce flash. We bounce flash because by now, you probably know that, and if you don't know, I'm going to explain you why. Most of the time, we want some soft light, especially when shooting events, unless you have a different style or a different goal for their photography. It's a different intention for that picture. So we kind of want to do soft light, right? What happens? But to create soft light, we need to know what creates soft light. So what's the difference between hard light and soft light? Let's start there. So soft light is when you have an easy transition from light to shadow. Doesn't matter where it comes from, but usually with soft light, you don't see a mark like a abrupt transition from shadow to light, right? So soft light, that's what it means. So it's when the transition from light to shadow is very soft, okay? And how do you create... Aline, bem-vinda. So how do you create soft light? There are different ways of creating soft light. Why we use light modifiers? Because what creates soft light is 2 factors, right? The size of the modifier, but every time I say this, it is in relationship to the subject. Let's say, this is what I mean. This is a speed light, okay? So now, if you put this speed light against my face, the speed light is really small. My face is really big. So when I talk about the size of the modifier, meaning the bigger the modifier, the softer the light is going to be, is in relationship with the subject. If I use this soft light here, this speed light here, to shoot a little ant, then this is going to be soft light because this guy here is much bigger than a little ant, right? If I can create shadows on an ant. I don't know why I gave that example, but it's the first thing that popped up my head. So that's what creates soft light, okay? The fact that your modifier is big. That's one thing. Another thing is the distance to the subject, from the modifier to the subject. The closer the big modifier is, the softer it's going to be, okay? Because if we go only with the size of the modifier, then you're going to come back to me and say, but Clay, when I'm photographing at 12 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I get hard shadows and the sun is huge, right? In relationship to me, the sun is huge, it's really big. So Why do you get hard shadows at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 or 5 or 12 o'clock? Because of the distance. The sun is huge, but the sun is way far, right? The sun is way far. So the closer the subject, the closer the light is to the subject, and the bigger this light source is, the softer it's going to be, the light. Okay? Meaning the transitions from light to shadow are going to be soft. Okay? So why do we bounce flash? So if you look around here, Larissa, if you look around here, you're going to see I have a lot of white walls, right? That wall over there doesn't look white, but it is white. It's because of this light back there, which we're going to turn off in a few minutes. So what I'm going to show you how to use this guy here to create a decent light on Danny with just this guy, no modifier here. I can maybe use like 1 or 2 modifiers. But using those walls, because what happens is that we're going to bounce this. Let's say if you bounce it on the ceiling, the light hits the ceiling, and then it becomes big because now we're lighting the ceiling, and the ceiling is going to bounce light back into our subject. That's how we make this light small like this, big just like the ceiling over there. Wherever it hits, it's going to bounce. Walls, ceilings. Now, things to know when you're bouncing flash. We always want to bounce flash if you have a white wall or a neutral gray wall. Okay? Only like white wall or a neutral gray wall. Why is that? It's because if you have a green wall or a pink wall or any kind of color, strong color on that wall, the color of that wall will come back with the light. You're going to get the tint, okay? You're going to get the tint on the subject, all right? So we don't want that. That's why I'm talking about the white wall or a neutral gray, because neutral gray is neutral gray. So exactly. So Aline Bittencourt is saying it reflects like my light here on the ceiling. Exactly like that. All right. So a few things that sometimes I use, not too often. Sometimes I use it in bouncing. Sometimes I use the mag sphere. You probably, if you've seen like behind the scenes of me shooting weddings, you're going to see me shooting the lights with this sphere. A lot of times I shoot with the sphere just because it's already there. It's not that, oh, I'm going to bounce the flash, bring this sphere. Because in theory, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because the sphere doesn't provide you a soft light. Remember, one of the things that you have to have soft light is the size of modifier. If I put this on the top here, this is not much bigger than this light here, right? It's not going to soft much. I usually like this because it creates soft edges on the light, right? And a lot of times I just have it on and I just keep it on throughout the wedding. It's not because I'm shooting, I'm just grabbing this to bounce. Because if I'm bouncing over that ceiling over there, I mean, that's pretty big. So I don't need this guy here. So another piece of equipment that I have here is what we call the mag bounce. It's the mag bounce, right? Because flashes, they come with a little bouncing card, right? Something like this, okay? This, guys, doesn't look like a lot. This helps a lot. So the lights are going to go up, and the lights are going to be projected to the front also, right? This little bounce card here is right behind your flash. A lot of people don't even know that it exists. There are two panels here. One is this guy here, which is supposed to soften the light a little bit, right? And this guy over here to bounce the light. I usually push, if I need to use it, I push this back and do this. I hardly ever work with this, but if I get into a pinch situation, I don't have where to bounce, this is going to be my bouncing. But I also have these guys here. It's called a mag bounce from Mag Mod. So I just put the one here. Look what happens here. It gets the light from here and bounces to the front. I used to use this guy a lot. I stopped because I started feeling that I was throwing way too much light. The light was way too focused. So I don't use this anymore. And tonight, for our demo, I'm going to show you how to bounce from the ceiling, how to bounce it from the wall, and how to bounce it from a back wall also. Now, when do I use, because as you all know, I'm the main line of work of our business is weddings. During the wedding, when I use this, when I'm doing the wedding, a lot of times I use a bouncing technique when you have people walking towards me, right? People walking towards me, like the wedding reception, for instance, they coming towards me. For what? So the question is, what mag mod attachment do you use? I usually use this guy here, the mag sphere, right here at the top. This usually stays on my camera all the time, on my flash all the time. Okay. So when people are coming towards me, let's say the cocktail hour is over, they're going to get introduced in the wedding. And then I'm most likely going to use this to bounce the flash. And why do I use this on the top of the camera instead of having off-camera flash? Because if I put the off-camera flash behind me or to the sides or something like that, as they move closer, what's going to happen? As they move closer, the light's going to get stronger because they're going to be closer to the flash, right? Here, I can walk back. As they walk in, I'm walking back with them and getting good light. Were there situations where I used the light, the off-camera flash to do that? Yes. A few situations where I used this. But I ended up stopping because I was getting decent images, but I was missing a lot because they get too close to the light and got too bright. And then I decided to go with a on-camera flash and bouncing. All right, and usually I'm bouncing to the ceiling, depending also because they usually walk in pairs. If I bounce off the sidewall, the person who is closer to the wall is going to get light, but it's going to block the light from the person on the further side of the wall. So that's why most of the time when they coming in towards me, I'm bouncing off the ceiling. So another situation where I'm bouncing flash also, I'm using on-camera flash to bounce, is during the reception, when the people are dancing and all that type of stuff. But there is a mixture of two kinds of flash. You have two off-camera flashes. We're still going to do a live on lighting reception here. We have two cross off-camera flash to the floor. Let's say the dancing floor is this square here, all right? I have one light here and one light here. They're crossed. This is how I do this. I don't do this, I don't do this. I do like crossed, right? And I'm shooting with this guy here just for feel. So this guy is pointing up and I'm shooting with this guy here for feel. The great thing about this flash is that this works as a receiver and a controller also, okay? So this is, I can put this in group, and from this guy here on the top of my camera, I can control all my flashes that are around the dancing floor. I don't need to stop, go there, and move. Especially, it's quite important, especially during the first dance. Because if there is something that you don't want to miss on a wedding, it's the first dance, right? But some couples come dance and they stay stationary in the center, and some couples move a lot. As they move closer to the light, again, they're getting more light, right? So I keep playing with that that's why I always need this guy, because let's say for some reason they move closer to the light and they stay there. They never leave. They stay there. Then every picture we're going to get is going to get a lot of light on them. Then I quickly in here, I turn their light off and use this light as the main light on them. Okay? That's right. That's a good point, Jeff. Visual vibes. You asked about the modifier. You need this guy. You also need this guy here. This guy is what attach, because mag mod is all magnet, so you need the mag grip. It's called a mag grip. Each one of my flashes has one of these. Stay on them forever. It's been here for years. Doesn't break anything. Asia, welcome. So, but disclaimer. Ding, 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 ding. I'm not paid by MagMod. I have no affiliation with them. I'm just a guy who spends a lot of money with them. I'm not ambassador. Hey, MagMod, I'm not ambassador. So it's just the equipment that I use every day. Okay, so it's fast. It's not the cheapest one. It's fast for you to assemble, because when you shoot weddings, you don't have a whole lot of time to mess with gear, right? You put that stuff together fast. It's very efficient. There's no Velcro to deal with. I mean, just the fact that I don't have to deal with Velcros is great, because let me tell you this little story. I always wanted to do like gel, right? Use gels in my photography, and I always carry gels with me on my bag. But I never use them, because every time you go to use a gel, it's like you go in and you grab it and you fold it and you put it, and you have a rubber band, or you have some Velcro. It is a hassle, and this thing falls off. It is a hassle. Using gels, it used to be a hassle. Now with the MagMod system, they have gels. You just put the gel over here. It has a special place to put the gel over here, and you're done. I mean, pretty simple, pretty fast. And then I start using a lot of gels on my photography. But again, I digress. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't give me money to talk about that. It's just the gear that I use every day. All right? So with all of that said, let's get shooting. Kiss is saying, I love the MagMod. I started using this last year during a family party. It is, I mean, I love it. I do love it. All right, cool. So first thing we need to do, turn the flash on. This guy needs to be in master, because it's going to fire from the top of the camera. Right, you're going to put it here, and we're going to fire it. Let me see if it's working. Well, helps if I turn the camera on. There you go, it's firing. I'm going to turn this light off, so it's not getting to the scene, and I'm going to show you how we do this, and kind of João Ricardo, and how the difference between bouncing from here and there. Because what happens is that we all know Danny's on frame. We all know that we keep saying, don't point your flash to the subject, don't point your flash to the subject, right? We keep talking about that, and I'm going to show you why. And a lot of people bad mouth like flash on the top of the camera. You want to have the off-camera flash. When you have the flash off camera, you have more control over what you do. You can move the flash, you can create this really cool shadows and stuff, which is my style of photography. If you go to my website, photosbyclay.com, you're going to see I have a dramatic and colorful and bold style, because I use off-camera flash most of the time, moving the flash around. This is very directional. This is going to be hard for you to style your photography. But listen, it's better to have the photo than not have it, right? So let's do this. So Danny's going to look at me. Can you see it? Okay, yeah. So Danny's going to look at me. I'm going to ask her to look at me, and I'm going to point the flash to her like this, just like this, just like I did when I started photography many years back. So by the way, I'm using my Canon R6, the mirrorless camera, with a Canon 50mm f.2, and these are the flash points, which are the same as the Godox. All my flash are flash point. They're the same as the Godox. Okay, and I'm shooting at 1/200 of a second at 3.2 aperture and at 250 ISO. I'm going to point this to Danny, and let's blind her. Danny, look at me. Smile, beautiful. 1, 2, and 3. All right, there she is. One shot. Like Jeff likes to say, one and done. But look what we did. All right, this is what it is. Is it a bad picture? Is it a horrible picture? No, yes, it is. No, it's not. I mean, it's not horrible. Is it bad? I don't know. Is it great? No, it's not. You see what happens when you point the flash to the subject? See the highlights? See the highlight there? You see the highlight here on her chest, highlight on the forehead, highlight on the cheekbones, and highlight on the chest. You could do this and say, "Oh, I will edit this in post-production." Fine, Valerie, welcome. You can say, "I'm going to edit. I can edit this in post-production." Good luck with that, because number one, it's not easy to do. Number two, you're going to waste a lot of time editing. Guys, when you're thinking about photography, we need to think that I see myself, I don't see myself, I'm a photographer, I'm not a Photoshopper. Although I'm very proficient in Photoshop and Lightroom, I don't want to sit down and spend the whole day fixing stuff. I try to get as perfect on the camera as I can. Editing for me is to work in a special situation where I need to extend backgrounds and that type of stuff, or to make the picture better. I'm not creating my magic in Photoshop. I'm creating my magic with my camera. That's why I keep telling you guys, you got to invest in your education, right? Because the camera can't think for you. You have to invest in your education. All right, so we already know that pointing the camera to Danny and shooting doesn't look good, right? So the first technique we're going to do, we're going to point the flash up. And the way I do this, I don't go like this, straight up. I go a little bit lower here, because this throws a little bit of light on her. Okay, so now we're going to do that one. Let me see, done is in place. Let me see, look at me here. Put the chin down a little bit for me. There you go, 1, 2, and 3. Did you fire?
I think so.
You did fire. It came out pretty dark. Let's go back now. Oh yeah, of course it did. See? Of course it did. Of course it came. All right, Visual Vibes. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Take care, man. I'm thinking here, why is it dark? Of course, I had the flash pointing to her, and there was like lowest power ever. Now I'm bouncing off the wall of the ceiling. I'm like, why is it getting dark? Of course, I need to increase the flash power. Duh. So let's go over there, and let's see what we do now. Look at me. 1, 2, and 3. I think I went a little bit too high. Let's go down here now to 132. 1, 2, and 3. All right, cool. This is a much better picture. But you have an issue also, right? So you see there's no highlights on her face, on her chest, on her cheekbones. There's no highlights there, all right? But you see how her eyes are a little bit dark, her eyes? She doesn't have like a whole lot of a raccoon eye, but it is a little bit dark for my taste, right? So I'm going to try to turn it a little bit more to her. Let's see if that makes it better. So 1, 2, and 3. There you go. That made it a little bit better. That made it a little bit better. All right? Right there. But what happens with that type of bouncing is that I don't have, it's pretty like flat on her. I have no way to create shadows or create dimensions, right? So what we're going to show you now is how I deal with that situation. I bounce off the sidewall. So I have a sidewall over here, over there. I'm going to bounce from that wall. Okay? So all I do, I'm going to turn my flash to the sidewall, like that. Right? I'm going to photograph like this. So same thing, the flash went up and came back on her. The flash is going to go over there and come back on her. All right? I'm not changing my camera settings. Any time you see me changing here, I'm changing only the flash power up or down, depending on how distant I am from her, because I keep moving. So I'm going to turn it this way a little bit, and 1, 2, and 3. Let me get a little bit, come this way a little bit more, babe. Get a little bit more light on her. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go over here. Take a look at me. 1, 2, and 3. Now, this guy over here, you can start seeing a little bit of shadows. You can start a little bit of a style here. You're going to see shadows coming from this side to the other side. Look at one side of her face. Look at the other side of her face. You see, it's guys. It's almost a Rembrandt light. Look at here. What's the Rembrandt light? Remember, the Rembrandt light is made with a little triangle of light on the opposite eye. Look at that. It's almost a Rembrandt light. But you see now, let me show you the ones from before. Let me delete this one. So this is the one with the flash bouncing off the ceiling, right? Let me close up on her face so you guys can see better. So this is the one bouncing off the ceiling. Brandon, welcome, brother. Okay. And this is the one bouncing off the sidewall. You see the difference there? The difference in shadows on her? Look, from the ceiling. We're talking about bouncing flash, Brandon. All right? Sidewall and ceiling. Look how I'm creating now, because I'm bouncing off the sidewall, so the light hits the wall, come back on her, I have more light on one side and the other side. Okay? When you walk into a scene, don't think, you'd be impressed how far those little lights go. It's quite amazing. I've shot like from high ceilings, I've shot like from far wall, and it's not a wall. You can bounce off a glass. I have bounced off a glass wall. I have bounced off of mirrors, right? All of this works, okay? Now, one thing that people sometimes they miss a lot, you can also bounce off your sidewall, which is even better, because the sidewall, the light's going to come back there, and you're going to come back even softer because the light's traveling a little bit more. Right, we're going to change the position a little bit here. I can use that sidewall. Babe, can you come over here this way? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to bounce off that wall over there. Okay. So the way I do this, I'm pointing my flash back like this, a little bit like that, 45 degrees. And let's see what happens. Now, of course, the light will have to travel more, which means that I will have to increase the flash power, right? I'm at 32 right now. I'm going to go 1/8, which I think is a little bit too much, but I'm going to try it. Babe, can you move this way a little bit more? Can you move back a little bit more for me? So I have room here. All right, so let's see. I'm pretty close to Danny right now. So, yeah, let me 1, 2, 3. That's too much light because we are really close now. I'm going to go down to 116 and see what happens. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Actually, I'm going to do it different here. I'm stepping the camera down to 1.2. Okay? So from 3.5, I'm stepping down to 1.2. I'm killing the ISO, and let's see, because I want that background a little bit more blurry. All right, let me see. I'll probably have to increase the flash power. Oh, decrease the flash power, not increase. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is pretty cool. It's a nice light, right? So you see, look at this image. That for me is, oh, where is it? I'm trying to get rid of the reflection here. There you go. For me, that's the best light from all of them. That's why I was telling you I love when I bounce back. Let me show you. It's very even light. See? What do you guys think? You guys like it? Let me know. Show them some hearts there. Good, 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 good. Thank you. Yeah, it's very nice. So now what we can do, we can start playing with this a little bit. I'm going to keep bouncing the light from the back wall, okay? And I'm going to start playing with a little bit of pose on Danny, all right? All right, babe. Now look at me. Look straight at me. Straight at me. Are you in the same place you were before? Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. All right, look that way a little bit. Punch your nose that way. Keep your eye in here. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. Yeah, now how about looking that way, the other way there? Yeah, put your chin down a little bit for me. Beautiful, babe. Looking gorgeous. Yeah. There you go. Bring your hand into play now. Play with a little bit of your hair. Yeah. Hold. Love it. Love it. Yeah, keep moving. Keep moving your face. Yep. Right now, I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm just shooting because I know I have a big light, good light here on her. Keep your chin down a little bit for me. There you go. Now bring your hand over here for me, like that. Yeah. Now just break it a little bit softer, a little bit less posed. A little bit like go here, go like this now, and bring it over here. Like, oh, you're thinking about me. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So there's no way, I mean, the light situation here didn't change, right? I dial my light, everything is the same. I don't need to keep peeking at the camera again. We call it chimping, right? You look at the camera, you shoot. You look at the camera, you shoot. And every picture is good because you get a good light. So you can see that I move her face in different directions and we're still getting good light because that wall over there made this little light really big. Now the light's wrapping around her. So this works really good when you shoot like small rooms. You don't have a lot of room to put light stands and that type of stuff, right? Works really well. Things to watch. Watch for white. It should be a white wall or a neutral gray wall. Now you're going to ask me okay, that's great and everything, but how do I bounce flash outdoors? If I'm outdoors and I need to bounce flash, how do I do that? Well, I'm going to show you how. You're going to need a light stand. If you don't have an assistant, you're going to need a light stand. And you're going to need a reflector. This reflector is silver on one side and white on the other side. And you need something like this to attach the reflector to the light stand. Right? So let me put this over there. This goes over here. Actually, let me switch the other way because those knobs are going to get in the way. And we're going to go up here. My light stands are get beat up. My goodness, look at that. Huh? So they get so much use. And then I'm going to use the silver side for now. Silver side is going to give more specular highlights. And I attach this here. Now I'm in business. Look at that. Now I'm in business. All I need to do now, this is going to be the equivalent to your wall when you're shooting outdoors. That you don't have outdoor, you don't have a wall. Krishna, welcome. So you don't have a wall outdoors to shoot. This is going to be the equivalent to your wall. We're going to bounce the flash over here, right? And we're going to put the flash. I'm going to put this guy a little higher because we're just doing face anyway. We're just doing type of headshots. I'm going to put it over here. Let me show you where it is. Right there. Danny, can you come this way? So I'm just going to put Danny in the same direction that the light source is coming. So there's my light source. Come a little bit more. So you can see a little bit more of you. Right? And now I'm going to shoot from here. And I'm going to point my flash towards that light. Oh, all the way around. Towards the light. Okay? So let me see. What happened? Hold on. Something happened here. Some connection. Okay, cool. I'm back in business. Let's go. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. You have the same directional light that you had when you shoot from the sidewall. Look. Right? Let me close up on her face so you guys can see what's happening here. Again, we have a kind of a Rembrandt light there. Now you create a little bit of style from shadows to, look how soft that light is. Look at the transition from shadows to light to shadow, how soft that is. And it's only soft because I made my light source bigger. Right? That's a much bigger light source. Remember what I said in the beginning, it's when you say the light source being bigger is in relationship to the flash. Okay, relationship to your subject. The light needs to be bigger in relationship to the subject. Okay? So this light here, this light source here is really small. Ooh. This light source here is really small when I put close to Donnie's face. Right? But when I bounce this light over here, this is much bigger. This light's much bigger than Donnie's face. Right? Then you're going to have soft light. All right? So, what do you guys think? Good? Questions? Concerns? Give me some feedback. What do you guys think? You guys learned something new today? Because this, guys, covers pretty much everything you need to know about bouncing flash. It's really not that complicated. It's a lot of practice. And once you get it, it's like boom, boom, boom. You always need to watch the direction the light's coming from. Always watch the direction that the light's coming from. Just like when you use off-camera flash. Think about this off-camera flash. When I bounce off a sidewall, I'm thinking my flash is over there on that wall. Right? When I'm shooting from the back wall, and you saw here, in my opinion, the one that I like the best are the ones that I bounce off the back wall. Okay? So, before I go, I want to remind you again, next week, we'll probably, most likely, going to be on YouTube. This live is going to happen on YouTube. I know that some people got here late. And go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/claysouzaofficial, and subscribe to our YouTube channel because you're going to move these lives to YouTube because it gives more tools. It's horizontal. It's more appropriate for this type of stuff. All right? And reminder number 2, remember that for the 2 weeks in a row, all the content that's coming to the lives are from the questionnaire, that the link is up there. I need you guys to fill up that questionnaire. I want to thank you, everybody who did already, but we have like over 1,000 people on this profile, over 1,000 followers. But I need you guys to fill up the questionnaire because I don't have not even close to 10%, and that's my goal, 10%. I'm going to keep bugging you until I get 10% of people filling up the questionnaire. So please, once you turn off here, go over there. The link is in the bio. Okay, just go there and fill up the questionnaire. It takes you, Doris, you got here when you're leaving. So the questionnaire is over there. It takes less than a minute, like a bunch of multiple choice questions, boom, 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 and you're going to be done because the questionnaire drives content to this channel, right? So I'm here to show you tips and tricks based on what your struggles are. Okay? If you need to add something, can we redo the questionnaire? Yeah, why not? Go ahead. We can redo it. It's fine, Mark. So don't forget the questionnaire, the links in the bio there. And next week, I will let you know. Don't worry about it. I will let you know. But if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go over there once you finish here. Clay Souza Official, just like this Instagram. But remember, we're still going to be uploading content here. There's going to be most for the live, but daily content is going to be here. And if you have any questions about the live tonight, send me a DM. I will. I pack a reflector all the time. Yes. And I'll tell you, a lot of times I don't use it, but I always have a reflector with me. Always. Because you never know what's going to happen. And besides, I don't use the reflector only to bounce light. If I need to get some movement on the hair, reflector is great. Make some wind. Make some wind there. All right? Thank you guys so very much for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support very much. Don't forget to subscribe to our Instagram, to our YouTube channel, Clay Souza. I thought she was going to to get some hair movement over here.
I just want to show her small.
Yeah. It's always there. Yeah. Gabriel, you getting here when you're leaving, man. All right, cool. So thank you again. One more time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for following. Tell your friends about our channel, our profile. Just bring your friends over here. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. And don't forget the questionnaire. Bye.